Okay, here's a really, really wild thought. Okay, in short, made lots of videos. You go check it out. But your DNA is nothing but sort of your own personal coding. It's like who you are locked into a code, and you're nothing but a pile of emotions. You peptides and proteins. That's all you are. That gets attached to your DNA of all of your past emotional experiences that you put text and stories to and beliefs attached to it, and it goes all through your genetic past. So, if that's what your DNA is nothing but your thoughts, your emotional thoughts, then science has proven, and there's been experiments. I'll explain this one experiment that they took a swab, they took some skin cells, some DNA samples, and put it in a petri dish and hooked it up to like EEG machines that could tell whether, the cell is actually talking, if it's alive, if it's having a thought. Like if you hook yourself up to an EEG machine, every thought sort of shows there's a wave happening. Something's going on every time you have a thought. So that's how you know you're alive with these EEG machines. Okay, so they took somebody's cells, swabbed their mouth and put these cells in a petri dish, and then sent the person away and seeing if whatever experiences they were having, if this cell would have any thoughts. And sure enough, two different experiments were done. I believe it was on That's Incredible, one of these shows, but it also was done in experiments as well. But one particular guy, they put him in a separate room and had him watching some Playboy magazines, and every time he seen something that stimulated a thought, the EEG machine on the cells in the petri dish would go nuts. And another time they sent this girl off, and she was miles and miles away doing some shopping, and some guy was threatening her, or was in a bad area, and she was like getting robbed or whatever. And guess what, right at the time that was happening, the EEG machines on the cell in the petri dish were going nuts. It correlated with everything that she was going through in this petri dish. So your skin cells, the things that shed off you all the time, every time, like 24/7. You're in a grocery store. You're shedding your skin cells and you don't even know it. It's going out into the dust in the air, and they're not dead. That's holding your DNA. So when you go to the grocery store and you take a breath, you're inhaling somebody else's DNA. So whatever somebody else is thinking about of their DNA, it's actually inside you. So are you even having your own thoughts, or are you being affected by somebody else's thoughts? Like if you're staying in the same room with somebody for over a period of time that's, got their DNA floating all over the air, and you're breathing that air, you're breathing in somebody else's DNA, which means you're breathing in their thoughts. And if these people are really, really strong and powerful in their thoughts, if they, whatever their thoughts are, whatever their beliefs are, they are influencing you and you don't even know it. So is the thoughts you have actually yours, or are they influenced by all of the DNA that you're inhaling all the time? There's no void. There's, when two people are in a room, there's no void there. Like it's filled with air, and that air is filled with a whole pile of DNA. It's filled with a whole pile of information that you're inhaling all the time. So get control of your thoughts. Get control of what you want. Start believing in what you want, because somebody else there that is believing that you're wrong, or trying to influence you, and they have more confidence than you have, they're going to influence you and you won't even know it. But you can use this to your benefit as long as you know that this is happening. you know and you're in a room and you're trying to influence other people. Just communicate with your cells. Just visualize. this really has a big effect. You have to visualize that they're actually breathing in your DNA. And then you have to communicate with your DNA to be stronger than their DNA, stronger than their thoughts. You have to have more confidence, because not only is your confidence going to be within you, but your confidence will be felt in the guy in the room. So it's like kind of important for you to believe in what you believe in, kind of important for you to have a sense of confidence in yourself, because you don't even have to say a word. All you have to do is be confident in a room, and have good communication going on between you and the cells that these other people are inhaling, and you can influence them. These elites, they're inhaling all of our DNA. It's kind of important what we think. If we keep thinking we have no control, we have no control, and these elites are breathing in our DNA, they're going to believe without a doubt you got no control and they do. Like, really, really be aware of what thoughts you have, because your thoughts are being inhaled by other people. And if you believe you have no power, then other people are knowing without a doubt that they have more power than you, because you're telling them. Like, if you believe you have no confidence, then you're other people inhaling that are going to take advantage of it, and they don't even know that this shit is going on. But the unseen has more power than what you think it does. And hate is definitely a really, really strong thing. You can't realize, you have to understand that you're just an emotional being. So if you have a lot of hate inside you and somebody else is breathing in your DNA that's filled with hate, trust, they're going to hate you back, because you're telling them to hate. You're getting them to feel what it feels like to be hate, and they're going to target that on you. But if you want to be loving and you want to teach somebody what love is, it's like, have love in your heart, because when they breathe in your DNA, they're going to experience what love is. It'll be just something that hits them like a ton of bricks that they don't know where it came from, but it'll come from the friggin' DNA that you're making them inhale. If you want somebody to be more compassionate, then be compassionate, because it's in your friggin' skin cells, it's in your friggin' DNA, and somebody else is going to inhale that, and that's a way to influence somebody to be compassionate. To be empathetic. You be empathetic. You just be aware of the emotions that you create, because it's not, you're just a friggin' emotional being that you put text and beliefs to. So create good emotions, because the emotions you got spreads, and it spreads friggin' fast, and it has a lot of power. So that's why, when I say this will reprogram your brain, and I've done a couple of videos, and I'm like using water, and it's like, constantly be aware of what you feel. Be aware of what you think about, because what you think about will create a feeling, and that feeling is a drug. You're just a freaking drugstore. You're making you're nothing but a mixture of peptides and proteins for you to feel. And when you get that feeling, you're just putting text to it. You're putting words to it. You're putting a story to it. So tell a good story. And then you're going to program your brain to create better chemicals. And then when you put better chemicals out there, then people will inhale it, and you don't even have to say a word, and people will inhale it. So it's like, this is the karma thing. What you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. So really be aware of what you're doing, because you got more power than you think you do. Peace out.